Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck hit straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic information for yourself to practice and develop a very clear, good, organic, authentic spiritual foundation. Because when it comes to this spiritual path, most of time we collect ideas. So this collecting ideas, collecting information will help you to develop your intellectual knowledge. But when it comes to the reality of our life, that intellectual knowledge doesn't work. The end of the day, even just imagine, end of the day, that what belongs to us. It's not what we know. It's not that whatever that we collected as information. The end of the day, it's going to be more important what we experience. Because that out of the experience, there is something that you gain. That wisdom or that understanding is going to be more resonate with you, and it's going to help for you to reproduce your bodily, verbally, mentally action with the higher version. That's the important thing. When there is no help to reproduce your action, so that knowledge doesn't work. So that's why most of time that what we collect, what we know, is not allow us to that transform our bodily, verbally, mentally actions. So we're going to be the same, our bodily, verbally, mentally actions going to be the same, but our intellectual knowledge become more higher. So, but when it comes to the meditation, we take a different avenue, we take a different path to access to this transformation. So we go towards our mind, our inner experience, rather than outside informations or the outside object or the environment. So when you go inward, that you start to recognize this. The mind is the forerunner, mind is the base. The mind is the epicenter of this all. That the mind is your world. So that is where you are capable to understand how things happen inside you, how you experience things, and why you experience that. This is something, remember this, and try to slowly catch it, and then by the time reflect on it and try to go deeper and understand it. Until you come to know something, it is not belong to you. Until you come to know something, that whatever, it can be there. But if you don't know about it, it's not for you. Just imagine this cup can be in front of you. But if you don't know that why this cup is like this and why this handle like this, and for what you can use this cup, this cup not going to become a cup for you. So everything the same. So in day-to-day life, even our human life, that as human beings, who we are, if you don't know the very capacity or the meaning of the human being, maybe you have a body, you have experience, you have a life, but you are not going to become a human being for you. So that's why in day-to-day life, when you know the value of mind, you are capable to understand how to use it and why you experience this. If you don't know that, then it doesn't work for you. So the enlightenment the same, the liberation the same. It can be there, freedom the same. Calmness, happiness, tranquility state, it's going to be there with you. But if you don't know, if you don't recognize it, how it's going to come and, and try to introduce itself? Do you think that there's something going to hit you like a thunderbolt and say, oh, this is my happiness? It's not like that. So it is there, but how you can find it, how you shape your life, that's how you're going to experience it. So then when it comes to the meditation, we understand this is a path to purify our mind. So then that's mean the mind is the main place for this life. So you have to look into. So then when a situation comes, are you start to look into the outside situation, or first you start to look into your condition of the mind? When you're going to react to something, when you get disturbed, sad, worry, disappointed, unhappy, are you going to look into the outside, or are you going to start to look into your inside? So then remember, the very key point in this enlightenment path, for anything even, your recognition. Because if you don't recognize, it is invalid for you. So it's going to be for you, going to be there for you, going to be there with you once you recognize anything same. Just imagine you have the husband or the wife or the partner or the children or the parents or the friends. If you don't recognize your wife as your wife, what will happen? If you don't recognize your husband as your husband, what will happen? If you don't recognize your child as your child, if you don't recognize your parents as your parents, if you don't recognize your partner or the friends as friends or the partner, if you don't recognize another human being as a human being, if you don't recognize animal as an animal, if you don't recognize the tree as a tree, if you don't recognize the sun or the moon or the clouds as it is, what will happen to you? Out of that, your perception, you bring a different interpretation. So in that very level, your experience, your understanding, your moment of being going to be wrong. So if the moment is going to be wrong, how about the next moment? So how about out of that experience, that whatever you gain, do you think it will take you to the right destination? No, it's going to take you to the wrong place. So that is the very simple logic that you have to understand. So through the tranquility state, it balances your the consciousness, it balances your mind, it balances your awareness, it balances your recognition, it balances your attention, and out of that balance, the perception that whatever perceived to you, capable to recognize as it is. That is the beginning of the wisdom. Remember that. If you can't come to that level or the point, forget about that. Don't jump ahead. So then again and again, you have to have the effort to bring it back, bring it back. And then, you know, that you may heard that story that one day there was a lion with the little, you know, baby lion went to the village. So somehow what happened, this little baby lion get lost in between the village with the sheep. And it couldn't find the way back and find its mother. So then what happened, this sheep, that the lion start to, you know, grow with the sheep. And then by the time there was a very old lion came to the village and looked for hunting something. And then look, there was a lion in the middle of the sheep. And somehow, you know, go behind and catch this lion and ask, what are you doing here? You are a lion. You should not belong. You should be with this, like this. And this lion didn't believe that. No, I am not kind of like that. Please release me. Let me go. Don't kill me. So like that, this lion start to beg for the life. That old lion took this little lion, and, you know, and there was a little lake, and, you know, put the face towards the water and told, look, you and me both the same. And then again, this lion told, can you see that your reflection, not something that you see from outside, can you see your own reflection? So this little story give a hint, or give a kind of like it's kind of like you know, show us the way. If you don't recognize, anything doesn't work for you. So that your own inner recognition, that your own reflection, you have to understand very clearly. Otherwise, maybe you go through things and the situations, many things. You're not going to get the very bottom level of wisdom. So that's why when you have that, because the enlightenment is not a kind of like just a information transformation. It is more than that. When it comes to enlightenment, it has two dimensions. It has two models. It's a one is that one is this paradigm shift. You recognize that it is in you. That is the beginning of enlightenment. You recognize it is the power of the mind, and once you let go this collective nature. So it's allow you to awake. So that awakening part release you from aging and all the science and the techniques and the methods, and it release you from the body, it release you from the time, it release you from the comparison, it release you from this dependent nature, it release you from this holding nature. It releases you from the patterns, the memory, habits. So that is a one part of the enlightenment. It is a inner liberation that no one can see it. It's just an experience. So once you know, this is all my mind. This is all thoughts. There's nothing else. Happiness or the sadness, worry or the joy, pain or the pleasure. This all depend on according to the condition of my mind. Once you know that, it shifts that your awareness. So then anymore, it's not going to hold you to this dualistic mind. You become free from that all. And that is a gift for you. So then anymore, you not belong to this conditioned and conventional life. Anymore, your mind not belong to this preconditioned thoughts or the mind or the patterns. You become free from that. So that is one. It start, the beginning of that is your own inner recognition. Not, remember, not outside validations, not your judgment regarding that outside things or the people or the situations, not what you know about the outside things, not your intellectual or collective wisdom or the nature regarding other things related to the details. It's all about recognition of your inside. So it gives that paradigm shift. You shift to different level from inside. No one can see. No one can recognize that. It happened to you. No one will understand that. It's a deeper inner transformation. But the thing is this, then how this in the world, that when for the enlightenment or the liberation or this spiritual path, there is some validation. So other aspect, other model of the enlightenment mean is this ethical manifestation. So the ethically, once that inside shift happen, this is the different, okay? So now we try to be good. Now we try to do good. Now we try to be right. Now we try to make everything balance, and now we try to be nice. So that is something. So when it comes to the conventional conditions, and when it comes to dualistic, when it comes to comparison, this kind of mindset, when it comes to our ordinary mind, it's always we try to do something to become somebody. So that's the very nature. It's normal. You and me, we all have that nature. But what happened when the paradigm shift come to you, that when the awakened mind happened to you, and once you recognize this old mind, the way you respond to your inner mind going to change. And as a result of that, what happened, that your bodily, verbally, and mentally actions start to shift. It's not you doing it, it's an outcome, natural outcome. So in this ethical manifestation, the people, as example, people think when you are enlightened, people think, oh, you have to be good. And it's so nice that everything, you do very perfect. No problems, and no anger, no arguments, no jealousy. And other people think you should be good. From where it came? when we talk about enlightenment, when we talk about the spiritual path, from where that came, that the idea came to people, oh, you should be good, nice. The very reason is, what happens that we disconnect, that it's kind of like we kind of like unbalance the situation and the character, because people knew the very quality of the enlightened person. So now what happens, before the transformation happens, before you know this mechanism, you start to expect from a person, oh, you should be like this. But it is completely different method. When you have expectations regarding somebody should be good, that itself disconnect from the idea of meaning of liberation or the transformation or the paradigm shift. So what happened to us? Now we know, oh, I'm a monk and you practice meditation, or then in front of other people, we have to be good. Then you're done. You disconnect, in that very moment, you get out of the system. You can't move forward. You're not going to get anything. So that is a very, very sharp point that you have to understand in day-to-day life. Because to be good, be nice, and to do right, we always have this inner argument, that we always have our inner judgment. And you know what happened there? When you have that, when you having that, in that very moment, you disconnect to see or recognize the very behavior of the mind. When you try to become good, when you try to be nice, when you try to do good, when you try to do right, what in that very moment, that when you have the effort to do, in that very moment, you disconnect from your own inner mind to see and recognize it. So that's why when you come to sitting, the sitting giving you a very secure, safe environment for you to get out of this doing and trying to be, so that kind of it. So no one expect anything from when it comes to your sitting. And even yourself, you have no desire to become anybody once you come to sitting. So that balance, that detachment, you should have in the beginning. As a beginner to any advanced level of practice, always remember the very meaning of sitting. You have to have that inner balance. Because once you have it, it's kind of like the seed putting into the right soil. And then you recognize, because if it is in the wrong place, it doesn't grow. And I didn't know that much, and recently I start to do some planting in that our new place. And now I watering some, plant little by little. So when I watering, I observe there are some places, that tree, this, same age, same kind of trees, but there are some places it grow very well. I put the same amount of water. And I reflect on that, and I start to observe and see that when you put it in the right place, the effort that you need to put is going to become very less. So otherwise, you can help for that tree to grow, but you have to put some extra effort. So the same thing, when you put the attention to the right place, and when you come to the right mindset inside you with the posture, the sitting, and you know the inner effort that you should need to put regarding that, your awareness going to become more less. And that bring the deeper satisfaction and the comfort, trust to go more deeper, because to go into deeper, to observe and recognize, you need more energy. If you are physically weak, mentally weak, you can't do that. So that's why when you come to the meditation, remember that while you have the strength, you should develop it and master the right technique. When it comes to especially vipassana, this critical analytical mindset, to have that. You're not going to have it every day, you know. So then by the time, before it going to fade away, you know, before it become weak, your mind and the body become weak, try to get into the right place. So this ethical manifestation, so that's why the people now expect, oh, when you practice meditation or when you enlighten, you should be good. But the reality is, it is not being good. When now we have to connect these two models together. So what happened is, when the paradigm shift happened, when you recognize this everything is mind, that awakening state start to give a deeper clarity regarding the mind. So once you have the mind as epicenter, you have the clarity out of that mental effort, that whatever the bodily, verbally, mentally actions happen, there's nothing go wrong. There's nothing go wrong. Even things go wrong, you know that, and you can handle it, and you can balance it, and you can bear it. There's no resistance inside you. So that is why once you have that, for the outside world, it's going to become so comfortable, peaceful, perfect. And there's no kind of like a resistance with the outside things. You always find the balance, You have this flexibility inside you with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions. It makes other people comfortable. So then, remember in your life, it's nothing to do with other people. Don't try to have a lifestyle, and don't try to put your energy, don't waste your time to be good. Because then deeper, what happened when you try to be good, by the time you disconnect that, the disconnection going to become so strong. Then by the time you get tired, you become so unhappy. So that's why when you try to be nice, most of time out of that, you get disturbed. You become mad, you get sad, worried. You know, that's why even when it comes to the, you know, in the beginning of that kind of like the first relationship, you know, with the people, when you engage, and what happened, we try to be nice, we try to be good, but it doesn't work in life. By the time, what happens, you know, things start to get tired, and you get fed up, you know, tired. And then one day you come and say, I'm done. You know, this is enough for me. No more. How it come? Because you keep trying inside. So that's why it's nothing, you know, we can't say don't be good or don't be right. We can't say that. In the very, you know, in according to this conventional human fundamental ethics. We can't say that because from our childhood, through the culture, tradition, schooling, the law, this everything always say, try to be good, try to be nice. It's nothing wrong, but the thing is, only, practice point of view for now, try to understand the difference. Why people have this idea, or when you are enlightened, or when you transform, or when you awake, why you should be good? So try to understand the difference. And so then you have to be good, you have to be nice, you have to be right, as much as you can. If it is possible for you, do your best for others around you. And in the conventional life. But remember, once you come to sitting, so that is how you master the sitting. Okay. Remember that. Once you come to sitting, you disconnect from that whole effort that you're trying to do things, you try to become like that. You bring your total attention towards your inside. You don't have any effort. Once you're sitting, forget about try to be nice. Forget about try to be good. For what? To whom? Nothing. So yourself, you go deeper, deeper, deeper. Bring the clarity to yourself. Become very clear with that, very clear. And then what happened by the time once you really recognize the very nature of the mind, and that recognition will bring that inside paradigm shift, transformation, awaken mind. And after that, once you come out of that sitting, anymore, you have no effort, you have no kind of like an intention to do good, to be right, be nice, or like that. Your appearance itself going to become with that qualities. So then you are the one who become free. Why? Otherwise, we always try to be. So once you have that freedom inside you, you gain so much inner space for yourself to settle down and go more deeper, more deeper, more deeper. So that is how this transformation happened. This is the one way of, we bringing a window to understand through this practice how our transformation can happen, and what is the meaning of this, and how these conventional ideas and ethical manifestations and model bring this with this enlightenment. So because understanding that will bring a very clear vision for yourself to sit. That is what you need. Because once you have that inner clarity, your sitting going to become so perfect. And some can bring arguments, no need sitting or kind of, so that person maybe no need that. If somebody need, I think this will help for that. Not for everybody, remember that. Not for everybody, but if somebody, that I hope this will help for that person. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So now you know how to master the sitting a little bit. Okay. So let's try. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself 3 times and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalation. And once you settle down with your mind, start to observe deeper inside the very behavior and the nature of the experiencer. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And recognize it through the sensation, do nothing extra. So bring attention to your body, please, and observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavatacha ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribundisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.